All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Princes of Azemar, Season 5, Episode 13. Also, our 100th episode.
Wow.
Our party here is all dressed to be ready to go to the desert and not get sunburnt, or in Koros' case, get sunburnt.
Covered in fur. Covered in fur.
As we explore the 9 deserts in this episode, Secrets of the Shifting Sands. Bum, bum, bum.
Wind chime.
All right, let's start with a round of intros in the top left, played by Lily and Alex. They are the twin blacksmith fighters. They're the Elders brothers. You've probably heard of them.
Woo!
And now the 9 deserts will too.
I
will tell every grain of sand.
The top right, played by our friend in Brandon. He's too smart. You can't hit him. It's Burnham Shortwick.
Getting toasty.
In the bottom left, the goat magician himself, Koros Ravenrock.
That's me.
Woo!
In the bottom center, played by Nicole, it is the paladin of Ilmater, Irina Kolyana.
You.
And last but not least, in the bottom right, played by our friend Lincoln, it is the dragon formerly known as Dirk Courage, fashion dragon, Nadam Ilrio Nazir.
There are so many new outfits to wear in the desert.
I'm already
You look like you're going fishing.
getting quite warm, so that hood is coming off. These sleeves are coming down.
Yeah.
It's really hot.
Your commitment to fashion wounds me, Brandon. I'm
I'll
disappointed.
keep these on for, desert cover.
All
Don't
right.
want
Yeah,
to
when
in
the
your house.
sandstorm
We're bad.
kicks up, we'll put it back on.
When we last left our party, they had finally made it to the capital city of the Azemar Empire, the city of Azai. There, they met with the Emperor, and they said, "Yo, Emperor, please help us go fight the orcs in the west." And he was like, "Nah, brah."
Accurate.
And so you all left sort of like, well, shit, now what do we do? And you ran into a mysterious wizard who had been ousted from the arcane circle but now returned by the name of Zavarin Davros. Zavarin has been working with your old friend Immeril, and they have been protecting the Eldris family who is being held captive in a seek, protecting them from your arch-nemesis, Vizerin Devere. As
Dun, dun, dun.
part of attempting to defeat Vizerin Devere, Zavarin has asked you all to go to the 9 deserts to retrieve a powerful artifact. The same magic that hid the city of Mesro away in a demiplane, he believes exists somewhere nearby where he sent you in the 9 deserts. And if you can retrieve that artifact, he can do the same thing to the city of Azai, whisk it away to a demiplane to keep it safe from Vizerin Devere. With that, he equipped you with the provisions you need for desert travel, the scarves you'd need to wrap around your head and not get sunburnt. And you all teleported off into the 9 deserts. You find yourselves standing in some ruins on top of a small hill. In the distance to the west, you can just make out a river in the distance, snaking between the sand dunes. And to your east, you can see a small village, makeshift tents and huts put up, and a group of large, red-skinned humanoids milling about. Here in the ruins, you are standing on a bit of raised stone where there is a circle inscribed in the stone you recognize as the teleportation circle that you arrived in. Around you, a few crumbling walls, and in front of you, a particularly high and partially covered section of crumbling ruin that houses a large stone basin with a little bit of water in the bottom of it. And above the basin, there's an inscription. This inscription appears to be in 2 parts. One, more legible, a little carved a little deeper in the stone. One looks maybe freshly carved or carved less deeply into the stone. The first part reads Maj T, and then the deeper part finishes that word Tal Zali. Maj Tal Zali. Or Majd and Al Zali.
Nadam, don't you read everything?
I can understand if it's spoken, but these
Oh,
are
say it
markings
out
on
What if I
loud.
stone.
say it out loud?
You know,
You have to know what you're saying.
After a moment, you notice a small red-skinned humanoid, a child in size, sort of scurries over to the basin. He doesn't appear to have noticed you yet, and he goes right up to the basin. He reaches into his little pocket. He pulls out a few copper pieces and throws them into the basin. He then takes from his other hand just a small little container, a little like cup, and he reaches into the basin and scoops out a cup of water that was not there before. You saw there was only a little bit of water in the basin, but as he throws the copper in, the level raises, and he scoops it up into the cup. He then turns around, sees you, goes wide-eyed, drops the
Hello
water.
there.
He drops the water and starts running out of the ruins and down towards the village.
Oh, well, goodbye.
I suspect his family's going to be very disappointed that he wasted that water.
Probably.
So we saw him do that.
Yes.
I would like to go up and drop a gold in there.
A goal.
Should I stop him?
fire
It's
hose.
vodka. Now what comes up is vodka.
Wait, we just put a ton of money in here. We could flood the deserts.
I haven't stopped him. Should I stop him?
I
It's too
say,
late.
I'm sure he'll be back with his family.
The gold piece, the thing fills with waters and actually begins to overflow and seep off of the sides.
We can flood the desert.
Do
Yeah,
it.
this is a great plan, guys. Let's show off our wealth in what is potentially hostile territory.
Well, we're trying to make the desert green again, right? Something like that.
What do you think happens if I
likely
drop a
what we talked
diamond down
about.
there?
It's trickle down economics, literally.
Why? Why?
I contemplate this strange magical fountain that turns money into water and kind of like run my hands through the water. It's just normal.
After a moment, yeah, the water, you reach your hands through it, it feels like normal water. Very crisp, clean, even cool.
Interesting.
A few moments later, you see, because you're in this raised hill, you can see that a group of what appear to be, they're dressed like warriors, men and women, in this red-skinned, thick red-skinned race, some of them are running up to the hill. A few of them are riding on these raptor-like creatures, these two-legged bipedal raptor creatures, and they are riding up to the ruins, right towards you.
Are they? So we've seen dinosaurs before. Are they not dinosaurs?
They seem very similar to dinosaurs. You could easily mistake them for dinosaurs.
Guys, dinosaur race number
You
2.
think they do dino racing in this culture? Because we are, in fact, accomplished dinosaur racers.
We're accomplished dinosaur eaters and betters. I don't think those are the same thing.
They don't look like orcs, do they? They're not. There's some other.
No, I mean they have sort of they are large and like thick-bodied like orcs are, but they have a different they don't have the fangs that orcs do.
They're like less bestial, more like human looking, right?
Yes,
But big.
but just big. They're just like large. If you're asking if they're hobgoblins, the answer is no.
They're not furry. They're not fuzzy.
That would be bugbears. Also no.
All right, let's identify them after we kill them.
Fill up some canteen.
And I say, well, let's talk first.
Fine. Talk first.
All they did was make water.
You can send people to hell if they bother you. I doubt they're going to be any kind of real threat.
We should talk about when that's allowed.
The warriors arrive at the ruins, and one clearly dressed a little more ostentatiously. He's got some decoration in his armor and in his headdress. Very clearly a leader or chief of some kind. He comes up and he says,
I give a friendly greeting.
I am Chief Waziraya, Nabadisiba. What brings you here to Alzali?
We are travelers seeking an artifact.
He says, interesting. Forgive us for our wariness. We had recent visitors who attempted to steal a precious artifact of our people.
We are not interested in stealing ones.
What,
Do you
so
refer to the fountain in there?
No, the fountain is open to all. Al-Zali, of water.
Ah, I do not read this language.
Is she not going to pull out? There are a few who can.
No, he doesn't.
Cool.
Nadam says, me and my companions, we seek an amulet.
Well, that doesn't
hope
sound
that
like
is-
it describes our holy artifact, so...
I'm glad. I would hate to start things off on the wrong foot.
He says, I'm not sure if we can help you with an amulet, but we can offer you shelter and water before you head further into the desert for your search.
You are most generous.
That would be
And I
lovely.
relay this to the group.
That sounds great.
I bow deeply because I'm like, ooh, water.
Do they have any of the cool horses for sale?
Yeah, oh yeah, I want to point at the raptor and be like,
As we are they like leading us down to their village?
They are not currently.
Oh, okay.
Hospitality only goes so far. They would like us to leave.
They're implying that like you can stay here in the ruins near the water, and
Oh,
that's
okay,
okay.
cool.
Cool.
Well, then I ask. We may have a long way to travel. We're very open to trade. Some of my companions have expressed interests in these riding creatures you have. They seem well suited to the desert. Do you have any for sale, or we're for trade?
And they say, we do not typically trade our raptors, but for the
I have
right
nothing to
offer,
push.
it could be arranged. I will fetch one of our, what would the word be? Someone who like takes care of the raptors.
A stable
Well, with
hand.
horses, it's called a groom.
I will fetch our groom, and
It doesn't feel right for dinosaurs, but we can go.
and then you notice that one of his
I hear he's marrying a real bridezilla.
Why?
one of his men perks up and sort of looks in the distance, and then he says, "I hear it too." And they start looking, and none of you hear anything at first. Burnham, you maybe sense it a bit in the ground, because you're a dwarf, and dwarfs do those sorts of things.
absolutely.
There's a distant rumbling. And as it comes closer, you begin to make out what it is, just as the rest of the party begins to be able to hear it.
Oh, load it coming.
It's the rumbling of hooves riding over the dunes here.
Riders.
And the chief and his men quickly, rear back up onto these raptors and start riding down to the village, collecting up the people, collecting up the things, and bringing them up into the ruins.
Can we assist with that process?
Nadam,
Yeah.
who are these people? Find out.
I ask if there is someone within arm's reach who looks like they know.
And he says, not sure. Probably raiders.
He says probably raiders. I expect we'd be very useful.
I'm going to send Class V2 up to take a look.
Excellent.
Yeah, I just help people move whatever they're moving. Like, I don't know why they're doing anything, really, other than, like, someone's coming, but I will try to assist.
As you run down there and start to assist, there's some scared people trying to grab up their possessions and, like, pull down the thing, and you hear the chief yelling, like only what's important. And
In
people
common?
just, I guess the Dom hears it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I haven't heard anything. Like, I just only know what Nadamas told me, but I see them
But-
panicking and trying to move.
We've caused enough civic disturbances to have a guess as to what this guy's saying.
Theo, you go down there and just someone panically hands you something because they see that you're like there looking to help,
Oh, cool.
and it's
Great,
just
I-
like it's a basket. It's full of like tapestries and things like clearly
Great, I
important to this
take
person.
it and I follow the other people.
Absolutely, yeah. They're running as much as they can quickly up into the ruins, getting the women and
Sure.
children up there.
Baron had a question.
Oh, I just want to try to get to a slightly higher spot so I can see where the horsemen are coming from, and I want to prepare.
Yeah, you can climb up the ruins a bit to try and get a good look. And at the same time, Koros, class feature, flies out there. And you see a group of horse riders. They are very clearly native to this desert, mostly humans, very dark-skinned from the harsh sun of the desert. And they are dressed rather well. You see that there's clearly someone riding in the front as a leader. He is adorned in various jewelry and gold as he rides. The rest of them have a pretty decent assortment of golden jewels themselves.
They don't
How
look
many?
like raiders.
How many? Many. Several
Okay.
dozen.
Tax collectors.
I will
Several
relay all that
dozen?
information through Nadam to the.
Yeah, it's
I keep thinking of them as lizard folk, even though you said red-skinned humanoids, so I will not call them lizard folk, but
Alright.
the other people,
They-
the red one.
so that we can stop saying the red ones. They identify themselves as the Kostage. That's the name of their people.
Stop.
Costage, okay.
What they
Kostaj.
call themselves.
Are the raiders that are approaching also Costage?
No, they're
They're not red-skinned, he said.
human. Maybe some half elves in there.
Okay, I heard what they were wearing, not what they were.
Yeah.
Dude, mad respect for half-elves, though. Get that bread. Definitely steal from people.
They get
I
most. Go ahead.
was going to ask the chief if this is common.
And he says, more and more so.
Does he recognize these raiders now that they're closer and that I've described them to him?
No, he says they sound like many other raiders he's seen.
Oh, well, all right.
Do you want us to kill them?
And he says, we will defend our people and our things.
That's a yes.
Well, we'll
Yeah.
help.
But if all they ask for is water, we will share it with them. Nabadisiba.
All right.
This
Nadam,
seems like an easily exploitable cultural taboo.
this is just like in Star Trek when the Klingons say "kapla" and that doesn't translate for no reason, but the subtitle still does. You know that Nabadisiba means our desert is your desert. So they get the people, the children, the elders into the ruins, and then the warriors sort of form a circle around the outside of the ruins. The ruins aren't very large; they're maybe, 20 to 30 feet, maybe 50 feet at its widest point, square.
Nadam, ask if we can join the circle.
The raiders are creating the circle.
No,
aren't they?
no. The
Oh,
Kostage warriors on their raptors are forming a circle around the ruins, a protective circle.
I absolutely say that we happily join in the defense.
I'm gonna go where Burnham is, up a little bit, not on the ground, because
Sounds
I
good.
don't do melee combat. I assume that Costage are outnumbered by these.
Significantly, at least 5 to 1.
Wow.
More for us.
So these horse riders quickly they come over the dune, they come towards the ruins, and they begin to circle around, surrounding the ruins. They've got these spears that they've now lowered down and are forming this circle around the circle of Kostage. And it's very tense. Everyone's looking at each other. No one's making a move, but they're all ready and watching each other.
Nabadisiba?
Parlay?
Pal.
Down to the depths, whatever one of you invented parlay.
A moment later, you see the leader of the horse riders, a well-dressed man covered in ornate jewelry, sort of parts the sea of riders, riding on his horse forward, and approaches. He rides right up to the Chief Waziraya, and he says, in common, "We outnumber you 5 to 1, my friend. I suggest you yield. We're only here for water, after all." He turns back to a rider behind him, who his hands are bound, and he's behind another of these horse riders. And the leader says, "Isn't that right, Ilmur Tazik? What was it that you said? They said to you, Nabadisiba." You see that like a few of the Kostage men are whispering to each other. The people, Nadam, you pick up. They're realizing that this Ilmur Tazik fellow is one of the people who visited their village and their ruins recently.
Mm-hmm.
And clearly has told people about it.
But he's bound, like a prisoner.
It seems that way, yes.
Jake.
What? Yes. He's clearly bound and riding behind someone else on the same horse.
Did
Clearly
he
a
go to
prisoner.
that, or was he captured? Are we able to discern that?
He's pretty clearly captured.
Pretty clearly captured, bound.
Okay.
Maybe it's just into that. We don't judge.
And you see Waziraya's men speaking to him, the Kostaj, and after a moment, Waziraya he puts his hands to the side and he says to hush his men, and he says, "Of course, Nabadisiba," and he and his men sort of form a path. Some of the men back into the ruins to sort of guard the elders, the children, as sort of forming a path for this horse rider leader to get to the shrine and the basin.
Which we just filled with a ton of water.
Yes, it's very, very full of water. And so he advances to the shrine. When he looks
On
down
his horse or on foot?
on his horse, and then as he gets right up to the shrine, he dismounts. He takes a cup hanging from his bag, unties it, and scoops into the basin. Just like smiles. He's the cleanest, coolest water he's had in some time. And he reaches over and he pets his horse and gives his horse a drink of water, and the horse gobbles it right up. And then the horse.
So you can make him drink it.
And then the horse goes right to the basin and begins licking some of it up. And then you see, that he scoops out a bit and he hands some to like his right hand man, who's right behind him, and one of the other men who have also come up. Not all of them, but a few of them have come up to the basin.
Oh, his right hand man is below the horse. It's gotta suck.
Listen, this dude's like Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great named a city after his horse.
No? After he named 13 cities after himself.
But you gotta get bored of Alexandria after a while.
And you gotta throw one Boadicea in there.
And after he, passes this water around and the basin's a little thinner, you see him. He reaches over to his pack and he pulls out a gold piece. And he, flicks it up in his finger and drops it. Actually, not a gold piece, a platinum piece. Pardon.
Oh, damn.
Come flood the desert!
He flips it up his finger, catches it, and then drops it into the basin.
And a geyser just eviscerates.
As the water fills the basin and starts to overflow the sides again, you also see that around the basin, the ruins, the wall behind the ruins with the inscription Maj Tal Zali, they regain color. Like that these ruins were once painted in these beautiful colors, and you see that it sort of seeps up from the basin and out as the ruins in a little circle around the basin gain color, and these beautiful drawings, these murals, start to reappear around.
Burnham, you were wondering what would happen if you put a diamond in there?
Yeah. Let's flood the desert.
Amazing.
The leader
We don't know how long it would last, so.
The leader turns around, and he walks right up towards one of the elders. You see, and like the warriors in front of the elder sort of step together and like look at the leader. But the leader just looks right through them at the elder on the ground. This elder is dressed a little more ornately than the others, and you see he is clutching something large under his cloak.
Is it boxoid or is it like?
It's like
Babyoid?
it's cylindrical, maybe
Okay,
a foot
cool.
and a half tall,
Wow.
6 or 9 inches wide. And the leader says, "Hand over the idol, my friend." And the elder, the priest, says, "And turn it into water? No! The gods would be angry!" And then the horse riding leader says, "Maj Tal Zali. Don't you know what it means?" The priest says, "The treasure for water!" And the leader just laughs. Yes, you would think Zali means water these days. No, it means power. Your gods gave you this treasure so you could restore the desert. I will show you. And he turns back to the basin. He takes a piece of jewelry off of his person, like a large ring, very clearly very valuable, and he drops it in the basin. Almost immediately, the ruins around all of you begin to rumble. Rumble. A few folks scream in terror. The horses, stutter step back, and walls begin to rise from the sand as the ruins grow in size and splendor.
Whoa!
Burnham and Koros, give me a dexterity check.
Cool.
Saving
enough.
throw, rather.
Also, someone hand me some treasure, please. I would also like some of this power.
Toss your goat staff in.
I did not set my drop down, for which I apologize.
Oh, both of you.
I know.
Tisk,
I saw
tisk.
Brandon and then realized I also had messed it up.
Toss your goat staff in and be immediately evaporated.
Oh,
Chorus.
that's a great use of the goat staff.
Koros, you fall off of the ruins as they rumble, and part of it appears. Burnham, you actually
Rip.
stutter step. You can move with the stone, and actually there's now a bit of platform where before you were perched on the edge of some ruin. Now you're on a nice flat platform, really stable.
This is amazing. I'm impressed. I'm just gonna let him keep doing this. This is amazing. He's not taking anything by force yet.
He turns back to the priest and he says, "If my small trinkets could do this, imagine what the power of the gods could do for our desert. We could return life to it, bring it back from the brink. Please, let me show you." And he holds out a hand. You see Ashraf, sorry, I didn't say his name, Priest Ashraf. The priest sort of...
Somebody's like, Ashraf, no, don't do it.
Yeah, there you go. And you see the priest, he sort of looks down and looks up and looks around and then reluctantly reveals what's under his coat, this shining gold idol. Solid gold, massive,
Dun, 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 dun.
clearly some sort of
Dun, dun,
religious
dun.
significance.
He's strong as
in
hell.
its carving.
Now would be a time to get off the wall.
Yes,
there.
Lily. Some people cry out when he reveals it.
That one really dramatic lady drops to her knees.
And he bows his head and he hands the idol to the horse leader. The horse leader takes it gingerly. He walks slowly over to the basin.
Does he say a prayer, somehow knowing these people's religion?
Absolutely, he says a little prayer. And then he sets the idol into the basin.
Everyone close your eyes, no one look at it.
For a moment, nothing happens. And then, the idol slowly melts into water. And everyone gasps for a moment, but then the rumbling begins again. This time, rougher, more violent. And from the sands of the desert, a giant temple emerges surrounding you and the tribe. The raptor warriors and the horse riders find themselves outside this newly erected building. You now find yourselves in a sort of an open temple. The ceiling is open to the sky. There are pillars wrapped around. In the center of the floor, you see that teleportation circle you came in on. But at the end of the wall, this large basin is now overflowing with water. It has become a fountain that has a large basin in the center and then a larger pool around it. And the inscription, Maj Tal Zali, is almost glowing in its brilliance. The horse leader is ecstatic. He shouts for his right-hand man, "Sahir, we make camp here tonight. Ready the men." He turns to the chief, and he says, "I am sorry to have startled you and your people. We mean no harm. My name is Akaman Ra, and I think that these ruins, this temple that you hold, are the key to saving these deserts."
Yes! I go introduce myself.
Damn.
Commercial break.
Real. Also, I wanted to say while the rumbling was going on, I protect any babies.
Sorry for the very long cutscene, but
Or
No,
baby
it's a
animals.
good
cool.
one.
It was cool. It was cool.
I was like, ooh, what's gonna happen next?
This is fucking lit.
What kind of?
Is the guy that we first got introduced to doing okay?
the chief? The chief is in a bit of amazement, and when Akhman-Ra goes up to Chief Waziraya, he sort of puts an arm around him and is talking to him. And Chief Waziraya is still on edge and a little confused, but beginning to calm, because you can hear Akhman-Ra is speaking like words to calm him. He's like, look, like together we're going to save these deserts. We're going to rebuild this world, bring life to it.
I can hear tone. I don't understand, but that's good.
Yeah, Naba de Siba it's a beautiful phrase, right? Like, so the Akhman-Ra is speaking in common.
Oh, right.
Oh, so the chief speaks common.
The chief understands common.
Oh, okay.
Or at least the swear word.
It seems that the chief understands common, and Akhman-Ra understands whatever language the Kostaj are speaking.
Can I talk to maybe some of the warriors who we were next to?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wait.
The horse riding ones or the Kostaj?
Coast.
Kostaj? Kostaj.
Costage. Okay, yeah, cool. I was like, do I have it right?
Nikolai Costa-Waldo.
Costage. I don't know, so like, have you ever seen these riders before? Have you ever heard of this Akhman-Ra?
In broken common, one of them says, "No, many raiders come. Never this many."
Once Akhman-Ra's done sort of like consoling the chief, and the chief gets to like regathering his little village, I would go on and go talk to him.
Yeah. What basically happens is that he talks to you for a while, and then they sort of make some sort of arrangements, and you see that the horse riders, Akhman-Ra's men, led by Sahir, the right-hand man, are making camp outside the temple, and the Kostaj are inside the temple.
Equitable.
Do the Costage have a village nearby?
Yeah, they had their tents and huts down the hill, but they sort of abandoned those to control the ruins.
Interesting.
And defend themselves there, because the ruins are a little more defensible. They're on top of a hill. That's where the water is.
Yeah, makes sense.
And so after everything's calmed, Nadam, yes, you can absolutely get the chief's ear.
I'm going to talk to Akhman-Ra.
Oh, yeah, you can get Akhman. If you just go outside, Akhman-Ra is happy to speak with any of you.
I introduce myself. Nadam, blade bearer of House Nazir.
He says, Akhman-Ra, soon to be savior of these deserts.
It's always refreshing to see someone who knows how to dream a little.
And he says, if I see my way, the bloody age of the 9 deserts will be over.
A worthy cause.
Unite these sands under a common banner, in peace.
Finally, a human who knows how to have a little ambition.
He's totally a Slytherin.
What? Get out of here, Nadam.
What? Humans kind of dream a little. They're a little cautious.
Too, so it makes sense.
I like you guys.
Birds.
And I
Lizards,
say,
all the same.
I hope it might be fortuitous that we both arrived so close together. We are travelers from a faraway land seeking an artifact.
What kind of artifact is this?
An amulet, one with great power, the kind to shift between planes, maybe even whole cities. You seem learned. Have you heard of it?
His hand goes to his various jewelry, sort of stroking it while he thinks. And he says, not sure I've heard of such a artifact, but if anything like that exists near here, it's in Ryza the Eternal's palace.
Ryza the Eternal.
Yes. The dragon who ruled this part of the 9 deserts before it was a desert. One of the masters of Kuaya.
And this dragon lives?
No, but her palace survives her.
Hmm.
The Eternal
I'd like to
Palace.
clarify. Like, no one's seen the dragon in a while, or you were there when the dragon was killed.
I like to imagine that Dom and Akman Ra are like chatting, and then this goat comes over, and he's like,
Clop, 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 clop.
I have some
Of
tactical
order.
That's some details.
And he says, the Dragon Masters were buried in the sands with their civilization.
I feel not convinced by this information.
They haven't been seen in a century.
I still feel unconvinced.
That's not very long for a dragon.
No, he's
They
a
probably
dragon.
just got lost underground somewhere.
Where he's sleeping.
And he says the
Dragon
calamity was of their creation,
So is a lot of cool
that it would strike down their lands and not them makes no sense.
Or
Dragon or not, if that's the place to look, I say we look.
The problem is that the Eternal Palace, like much of Kuaya, has been lost to the sands.
But you know a general location?
No. But I do know of a way you might find it. I've heard tale of a genie in the desert. King Haroon, who knows all sorts of the desert's secrets. If you can find Haroon, which is easier said than done, Haroon usually finds you. He might be able to tell you how to find the Eternal Palace.
Sounds like a plan. I'm currently the only person in the group without a bargain with a dark entity.
No.
I shout at Koros.
Look, it's mostly worked out.
I'm glad.
My entity's super
Um,
light.
Not talking to you, Aridin.
He's literally light.
You're doing great. And I say, any leads on where to find this King Haroon, or how to entice him to find us?
King Haroon desires two things, slaves and treasure.
Good. Sounds like a pleasant fellow.
If you can entice him with either, you may find yourself in his court.
Good to know.
Can I sidle up at this point and be like, have you ever met this King Haroon? You seem quite familiar with him.
No, I have not had the fortune or misfortune of meeting Haroon myself. But
And
I've
how
heard
did
many
you know?
tales.
And how did you know this idol would restore such splendor?
And he says, a new friend told me. And he turns back and he looks towards. You see one of his men has taken that man whose hands are bound, and is like moving him over to the camp and sitting him down. And he's struggling a bit, but just sort of on principle rather than trying to escape.
What question?
Who is your
today?
prisoner?
And he says, I haven't extracted his true name. He goes by Ilmer Tazik, the mercenary.
And how does he
Zena
know
had a
so
question.
much?
He was a member of a adventuring party, yet another one coming to the desert searching for treasure. And his party came across these ruins. When I heard his description of them, I knew that they were what was prophesized.
Irina had a question.
Oh, yep.
Yeah. I don't know. Were we nearby when Nadam was talking to him?
Sure, yes.
I assumed now that we were where I came in at some point, so you probably have too.
You've come up
In
one
that
by
case, I
one
would
and
like-
jumped into the conversation, so...
Cool. In that case, when I see him start talking about like the amulet and all that shit, I'm gonna try to subtly cast detect magic. Just curious.
I will need a stealth check to
Cool.
cast it subtly. And I need some dice.
Dice.
Alex, can you not let me forget that I
Ooh.
want to ask about these prophecies?
Oh, I finally get to use them! Wait, everybody! Guess what kind of dice I have?
Desert
Crystal
They
Sand.
made a
dice.
stand.
I have desert dice!
Oh, look at him!
They're really hard to
Nice.
see on here, but they've got like this. They've got scarabs for their big number. Like that's the 6 and the D6 is a scarab.
Oh, that's
Get
cool.
That's cool.
closer. Closer.
If I get closer, it doesn't focus.
Closer. Closer.
Enhance.
Oh
Enhance.
my god, I can see into infinity.
Look, optics are a fake science anyway.
You know what else is? Geography.
That's
13
true.
on that stealth check.
Yeah.
Bobby, we talked about how geography is not a science on our other show, and
As
we all
you
missed you.
start to say the magic words and go to move your hand, one of the horse riding men, not on a horse right now, but one of Akamenra's men places his hand on your wrist right when you're about to do the somatic component, and says, "What spell do you cast?"
Friend, I was simply going to create some food and water for all since there are so many of us now.
And he says, "Do it over there without pointing at Akamenra."
I
I
don't
turn him into a loaf of bread.
I turned him into 45 pounds of food.
I turned him into 2 fish. And
Well, I
one
can feed
loaf.
all of us.
Dang it. Oh well, I tried. All right, cool. I'll go over there and might as well
This is-
cast.
This is
Create
still
some
good
water.
information. You know what I mean?
If you mouth off again, I'm going to turn you into an equivalent volume of pudding
Yeah, 45 pounds.
Holy shit.
and 30
Yeah.
gallons of water.
Also, he was stroking his amulet. I don't trust that man worth anything.
Dude, everybody knows Lost Talisman of Akhman Ra.
Right. So half a cow in a bath falls suddenly from the sky.
I think I would put the water in with the other water in the fountain.
So you go over and you go to create 45 pounds of food and 30 gallons of water.
Yeah.
And
as you
what
do.
comes out is 4.5 pounds of food and 3 gallons of water.
Arena, what's going on?
It happens to a lot of
Good
spellcasters. It's okay. It's not a big deal.
What is happening?
Remember in chat today when I was like, as long as nothing happens to Arena.
Yeah. So what's happening?
You're
I,
not
like, roll
sure.
something?
You feel your connection to your god just fine. In that, Ilmater is literally within you. But
Oh wow, that takes my body as a temple to a whole new level.
I meant
When you pray, do you just go to a mirror?
the elder spirit.
Yeah, like look at me.
But you feel maybe I'll take an Arcana check or a religion check to know anymore.
Cool. That's good. It's convenient.
She's 3 points smarter than the Dom.
All right, religion it is. That's shit.
Nope,
You're
let's
not
see.
sure. Something is wrong, and you don't know what.
Can I go pray on it?
You absolutely can go pray on it.
I'll go pray on it.
Go pray about it.
There's like a little hunk of ham and like, a bucket or two of water.
That's not even a little bit of bath.
Not nearly enough to feed and drink all these people.
4 pounds of ham is a lot.
That's a good amount of ham, but like that's
That's a ham.
a party's worth of
Ew, and I
ham, not a
knocked that
village's
out.
worth of ham.
One guy walks up and is like, "Ooh." Just eats it.
It has a bunch of little toothpicks in it. And he's like, I love these.
All right. So,
I found a ham.
the rest of y'all were talking to Akamenra. Did you have any other questions you wanted to ask him?
Alex, I told you
Prophecy.
something. What was it?
Prophecy.
Yeah, I say,
Who wants some
practicing
floor
the new
ham?
vocab that Nadam has been teaching me. Whence came these so-called prophecies?
And he says, the prophecies began with the calamity. Prophets, soothsayers, all over the desert said the same things. Different languages, different texts. I have pieced many of them together, and they all point to a fountain of life that will return will turn life to this desert. And they speak of one who you will unite these deserts, and I believe that that one is me.
You spoke earlier about the calamity. You said the dragons caused it.
Indeed.
We've heard elsewhere that it was the use of magic that was responsible.
He says there's nothing insidious about magic. However, the gemstone dragons held a practice of creating things out of nothing. And eventually the nothing wants something back.
Do you believe it is true?
Absolutely. I've seen enough in my time in these deserts. I've lived here my entire life.
Scotty.
I need to think away from this crazy guy for a bit. I need to talk to my brother.
Yo.
These talks of prophecies. These are the ravings of fools and madmen and religious fanatics. We know that. We were in the library. Nothing is confirmed. He says he's studied. He's lived here his whole life. But none of this could be true. Don't you think this is all some trick?
I mean, according to everyone, there was a great civilization, and now it's just a bunch of sand, so something happened.
It was a bunch of sand until he came and put that thing in there and it turned to water, which also makes no sense.
Yeah, that was crazy. These ruins kind of freak me out.
We need to talk to Koros or somebody who understands magic better than us.
It's a constant plague on this party that Quartz is one of the most knowledgeable about the arcane, because Quartz is shit.
Koros didn't learn any of his magic. He cheated.
I don't know if
Probably
there's
a
emerald from time to time.
Koros
Yeah, man.
doesn't study.
You know there's
he's
a
sleeping with
wizard in the
professor.
party now, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
talk to
I'm
Baron.
I'm saying like
Wizard.
I said Koros or somebody like that. I would probably ask.
Baron has
every-
wizarding degrees.
Everybody
Somebody
else
like that.
besides me can do some kind of magic. I'm pretty
He's
sure.
got a wizard's associate degree.
Random carries around his degree like we carry around our guild letter.
It's a grade school education.
I'm not even remotely goat-like, though.
Not yet. Yeah, I guess if we huddle up later, it doesn't need to be now, but like I ask people what they think about what he's saying, but also like this thing with the ruins, it feels too good to be true, too easy, too simple.
I don't trust any of this.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing. I've got no idea how this is happening. It's not an illusion. Well, maybe we should explore it, make sure it's not an illusion.
That's what I'm saying.
You gotta roll to disbelieve.
Yes, can I roll to disbelieve too?
Yeah.
Feel free to roll to disbelieve.
Okay, what do we roll?
Theo does it every
Wisdom
morning when he wakes up.
save.
I try my hardest to disbelieve.
I think the ruins cast a spell, Theo.
Swinging
Oh,
around.
everyone gets +4 on their wisdom saves.
Oh, good. I have a whole 8.
I have a whole 12, but I think I can re-roll it.
I'm rolling because I roll big numbers.
Oh,
Oh god, y'all are rolling like shit.
No,
Yeah.
get them out on this fake roll. This is good.
Nadam's doing Nadam 18, 19,
Oh my
Nadam,
god.
Or else
Nice, Nadam got a 21.
Burnham and Nadam.
Mm-hmm.
Very
So
clearly
you
not an
guys were in
illusion.
the
These
game.
are real ruins. Theoden, Eridan, not Irina. Theoden and Eridan, absolutely illusory ruins.
I say we hit them with hammers till they fall down. Because they won't fall down. They'll just, like, not fall down. And then everyone will realize that they're not real. Because if they were real, we would have broken them because we're so strong.
Oh no,
That's true.
Eridan, what?
I didn't pass.
That's very sound logic.
It's obviously not a real ruin.
Oh yeah, I did.
It's one of those mirages. We've been out in the desert
You're
too
right.
long.
Yeah, marriages.
It must be.
A whole 30 minutes we've been out here in the desert.
Eridan, Theoden. It's very
I'm good.
important that you find out if it's a mirage. Go outside where no one can see you and test it. We don't want them to realize we're onto them.
No, I'm entirely certain.
All right, I'll keep them busy here.
Okay. And then I say to Aaron, and I'm like, Nadam's counsel is most wise.
Indeed. That thing he said earlier about humans with no ambition, though, I'm still kind of sad about that.
I think that part he said when he was
You
out of
were.
your earshot. It was before you guys joined the conversation.
Oh, okay.
They can have overheard it. I'm down for them to challenge me on it.
I'll say he will learn.
You all, when you go outside, there's a few little bits of ruin sort of around the temple, because the temple has restored, but now the ruins extend a little further out.
Now, see, these weren't here earlier.
Yeah, exactly. They have to be fake. Would you like us to roll damage?
You look over there, I'll look over here.
You guys
just digging around.
you sort of dig around. If you like tap something with your hammer, it breaks like normal.
My hammer isn't passing through.
It's very convincing magic. Keep trying.
I'm fairly certain it's real, folks.
I know. I just sent them out there to be out of earshot of the rest, everyone else.
Oh.
I just, they're like dogs. You have to let them run and get it out of their system.
This is essentially correct.
First we have no ambition, now we're dogs.
Why does Tom hate us all of a sudden? What is
Listen, I love humans.
You said
Humans
it.
are great.
No, people love
Lovely
dogs,
people.
guys.
They're lovely people. They're lovable. They're so sweet. You heard how Theoden talks about his family. It's so cute.
They don't last very long. That way, if you get tired of them, it's not a big deal.
Yeah,
How
to
long do
Barum,
goats
I guess a human would have a similar lifespan to a dog for us.
And most of them only live to 30. All these adventures.
I'm gonna keep talking to Achman Ra.
Yeah.
Ask him about this genie.
What do you want to know? What does Lincoln want to know?
Lincoln wants to know. He said slaves are treasure.
Yeah.
What kind of volume are we talking about? And does he know any good places to get these things?
Volume? Not a lot. King Haroon has known to appear for mere trinkets or to catch one particular interesting slave.
Ah, the Dead Sea Tupperware. Still fresh.
As to where to get those things, there are places all over the deserts. The things move and shift too often for them to be certain.
All right.
Are there no old maps of from before the calamity?
There are. The desert today resembles none of them.
Wouldn't it still
Except
give
in that-
relative positions?
Did you say roads?
No, I said, wouldn't it still give relative position? If we know where we are because this ruin has been restored, couldn't we at least
What I'm
get a
hearing is
partial-
it should, but they don't.
Right. The only things that are still the same are the mountains in the west, the mountains in the east.
I'm gonna start making a map that just have the mountains where we are in the mountains.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll add stuff to it later.
You are here. I
There
hope this
do
doesn't
exist
change very fast.
maps of the 9 deserts that show some very, very high-level stuff like where the 2 mountains are and where the 1 river is. That river does not match where the river used to be when it was Ku'aya. That map looks something like this.
Bam.
Whoa.
Bam! 9 deserts
How
map.
cool are maps?
I'm really
Such
into
maps. Wow. Very cartography.
That's where y'all are right now in Alzali.
Heck a cart.
Near the river, near the mountains, the shaded parts mountains.
Got it.
There's a little
Star.
valley in there.
Oh, we're next to Donner Pass. We're gonna get snowed in.
Yeah. 9 deserts.
Yeah, we are.
Does that say Ursula or something?
Yeah, we're gonna have to eat each other.
It said Usala's
Goat
Heart.
is delicious.
It's the name of this region of the desert.
Usala's heart.
Yes.
All right. Well, can you point us towards any other settlements around here?
He says
Or those?
everything these days is nomadic. Raiders ride in and destroy anything before it can last beyond months or even weeks.
All right.
Real shit.
Whenever Theoden comes back, I'm going to ask him how our treasure stores are doing.
And he says, but from what he knows, from where he's heard stories of King Haroon, east is the way you want to go from here. That appears to be where his tromping grounds are.
All right. Good to know.
Do we investigate this temple at all?
I want to for certain.
I mean, the people are all there because, I guess they're taking refuge here because it offers a lot of protection from the wind and the sand. But we can look around while they're still here. There's probably murals we could look at to try to get some information.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some things around.
Airden, are you ready to come back from our trip?
Oh yeah, I didn't find anything.
Oh, yeah, me either. Let's go report to the dog.
I think it might be real.
Oh, thank goodness.
Or a very convincing illusion.
Either
They
way,
would have to
let's
outsmart both of us.
how is a very convincing illusion any different from real? And before they have time to fully process that statement, I say, Theoden, I think I know how to find this King Haroon fellow. What kind of treasure do we have?
That's a good question.
Am I real?
Out of character for the rest of this, just because it's a listicle, but a shit ton.
Nadal communicates that he's interested in like interesting big things.
Well, we have a goat that can talk and do magic.
We do have.
I am a goat.
Let's see. No, that's not gonna work.
Can we get
Yeah, that's
just
basically nothing.
We got at least 1 diamond.
That is true, but I do not have it.
I have it.
Yeah,
But
like
it would not be. Yeah, I think it would be a.
ball
Guys.
bearings,
Guys.
caltrop things.
Guys, we have the Ring of Featherfall.
True.
Dude!
Ring of Featherfall?
We have
Wait,
that. That
would
would be
be
really
real
useful. I feel like.
I feel like
Just Bobby knows the truth, right?
Dirk's Reese's Ring of Featherfall.
Yes, it's right here on my character sheet. Reese's, Dirk's Ring of Featherfall. Dirk's Reese's. Sorry, yeah, you're right. It's been both Dirks now.
Yeah,
Reese's.
both Dirks have seen it now.
And you still have the figurine of Wondrous Dirk, so
and I have a really cool helmet.
which is a pretty cool piece of treasure.
Don't give the figurine of Wonders Dirk to him. He'll use it as a slave.
Don't put
But
this
you're
in
Your
the
helmet's way
range.
too cool. Don't give it up. It's so awesome.
He's not saying to sell. He's just saying to attract King Haroon.
You could use my armor. Or
And all we have in there is gold.
I feel like the fact that we walked in here with like 10 pieces of magic items should attract him. He's probably got a radar going off right now.
Ding
I
ding
don't
ding
know.
ding 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 ding.
I've also got
We got
Darius.
the good path.
He's all about
I
the
have
pomp. You
Darius
gotta show
and
it.
My magic metal detector.
Don't get rid of the
Well,
fortress.
the fortress is actually useful.
No, we're not getting rid of any of this. You just said, right?
Right. This is all just. He's just asking for bait.
We have the fortress. We have my armor. We have my super amazing magic feather cloak that lets me turn into a flock of ravens.
You all
No,
on
no,
you
no.
as a group have an assortment of very rare magical items that would attract anyone interested in such things.
That's what I figured.
So we
Okay.
just kick back and wait.
Can we just sit around and
I don't want to be bait.
Well, he said we could go east.
Well,
I'll
Wait
Ross
for
said
him
to head
come
east.
to us.
I don't want to be bait and put the villagers at risk.
I
Yeah.
think we should head east. That's where he said
Should
we
we
should.
travel at night?
I think we should travel
We
at
should
night.
travel in the desert.
Can we do like some insight checks to see if we believe this dude?
Yeah. Jake?
Yeah.
Do I believe this guy?
Yeah, insight.
Cool.
Hit it.
Doing it. Because I'm not sure I do.
She's got to read them first.
Jesus.
Anyone else rolling insight?
Yeah.
I like this guy. I believe him.
I'm a suspicious bish.
I was suspicious the moment he started touching his necklaces.
He created a city out of sand with water well. I trust him utterly. It's fine with me.
Koros, Theo, Irina, you all get a pretty decent read. Like, he appears to be telling the truth. Koros and Theo, you think he may still be hiding some things. He seems to be a man who knows quite a bit and has many secrets, but, like, as far as King Haroon is concerned, and that King Haroon may know how to find the Eternal Palace, and that King Haroon is attacked with magic items, all of that rings true.
Before we go, I
Yeah,
do.
good.
Sorry.
I said, let's,
Okay. I just want to take a quick look at the temple and see if there was any like art that was like dragons or some shit that would be cool. Informative. History of the desert stuff.
Give me an investigation roll.
Can I assist with that part?
Yeah?
I get out my tiny
So
magnifying
the way
glass.
assisting works in 5e is you give one person gives the other person advantage.
Good. Hopefully I do better. Nope.
You did not, in fact, do better.
Did not do better.
Did in fact.
You look at the art. It's very hard to interpret what it means, especially because neither of you speak whatever language or read whatever language this is written in. It seems to share some similarities with Elvish, and to share some similarities with what Drow languages you've seen.
Hey, Lily. It's some form of Elvish. I can't read it.
Dude, right?
But in addition to that, it seems to be its own script. So only like half of the letters even make sense. So you're not able to get the sort of the letters between the drawings. The drawings themselves, you see pictures of dragons. You see pictures of a shining golden warrior. You see pictures of a shining golden city. Armies carrying treasure to the city.
What if I ask the chief about it?
You ask the chief. Sure. The chief understands common but doesn't speak it very well.
If I am fetched, I
Make
can
the Dom translate.
And he says, there are a few stories told. One is of, succinctly, the fall of what was before. The calamity and the dragons. The second speaks of the rise of a new empire. New lands, prosperity, a golden city. And the other speaks of the future. Armies riding out and bringing back treasure to this great golden city.
Cool. Okay, let's go east.
Ice Sword?
Did that lizard groom show up? And we don't have enough raptors to trade is a perfectly acceptable answer.
What I will say is that he wants a very steep price for even one raptor. But if you want to chat with Akaman Ra and his men, or rather with Sahir, his right-hand man, Sahir will happily trade for some horses.
Oh, totally. Then we would love
do
some steeds.
Double player's handbook prices.
I don't like steeds.
Damn.
They're very good
Something like that.
horses.
And he doesn't have a lot of them. Supply and demand.
Right.
You know, but
So player's handbook
Horses are a lot,
prices
right?
are mounts and vehicles. A riding horse is 75 gold pieces. So he'll do 125 a horse. No, sorry,
125
150. I'm
times
bad at math.
6?
150 times 6.
Well, is Baron gonna have a horse or is he gonna share?
Can we double up?
I could share, I suppose, or get a smaller horse.
I always, in matters of the purse, defer to Thea.
Is it possible for us to double up on these?
you don't want to wear out the horse. It's going to be hard riding anyway. Extreme heat.
True.
And with you not able to make the water we were planning, I don't know.
Yeah.
Not your fault. Don't judge. Totally okay.
But that also means
Did my-
extra mouse.
Did my praying illuminate anything?
Sure.
Sure.
You begin a prayer to Ilmater, and you're like, look, I was trying to serve others. That's what you call me to do. What happened? And he responds to you. He says, there is a curse on this land. Even the water of the river is not safe to drink.
Can I try purify food and water?
Well, you're not near the river.
No, I'm
But
not.
he basically says the same curse that makes the water of the river unsafe to drink limits the water that you can bring into this place.
Cool.
Well, then
Okay.
Let's fill up on water skins.
So it's how much? Gold? Like 900?
For the horses?
I don't know
6
if we want
horses
horses.
at 150 apiece would be
900.
900, yeah.
Do we want horses? We're not going to go any faster.
I don't think we want to spend that money.
Okay.
We're strong. We can carry our own water.
I also have remove curse and purify food and water, so we can try that on the river water.
Off screen, we did get desert supplies, so we have more things to carry water.
You have
also
lots of
all the things from the jungle.
Yep, you got all that stuff.
True.
The
If we
river
want to
is
repurpose.
west. Y'all are heading east.
Yeah.
Ah.
And I'm sure we've got like some good, like a big tent.
Yeah, you got a big tent. You've got all those things. You've got water skins. You've got you could go for a week or so, easily.
Yeah.
So let's do it.
The tents
And
are probably repurposed from the jungle.
We're traveling at night.
That was the plan, right?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
All right. So
And we do have one rain catcher in case it decides to rain.
Unlikely.
all right. So you see that the horse riders
Oh, wait.
and the Costad.
Wait, also, we have Darasand's Instant Fortress.
I don't want to pop that because that will attract attention, and also it's metal.
Is it? It's adamantine.
Adamantine, which is metal.
That's
Oh.
squarely in the middle of the periodic table.
Oh, I thought it was like stone, so.
All right. So there's still clearly, when you leave, some tension between the Costage and the horse riders, but there appears to be a tense peace between
They
them.
better play nice. They both seem cool.
And from there, you ride out, or rather, not ride. You didn't get horses.
You walk.
Walk out east into the desert at night, heading over the dunes.
Does Achman Ra consider this to be a really stupid decision?
Not really. You're not going to go that
Alright.
far, and you can always come back here.
Okay, cool.
Assuming it doesn't move.
No, he's like, you
Okay.
guys, you have plenty of water. You can go out and loop back. It'll be fine.
Just making sure he isn't like you're going without horses. God be with you.
Right.
He sees that you are very clearly capable warriors. So he's not.
Rid of us.
I'll fight off the dehydration.
Now all of his men have heard of the Eldridge brothers, so Bro and Co. So you guys head out into the desert. You travel during the night. During the day, what's your plan to hide from the sun? Just put up the big tent and sleep?
Well, go down between some dunes
We
so
can
we're
still
out of
travel
sight.
in the early
Pop
and late hours and stuff. We can just sleep during.
Yeah. During the
Fun.
highest hours. Excellent. So you travel for... I need to take note of this for my calendar, but let's say 2 days, 3 nights. Let me write this down here. Sorry, I'm looking for a place to write down these because I need to update the
I'll-
calendar afterwards.
Create water as needed, even though it's not much.
And on that third night, 2 days, you see in the distance, illuminated by the moon, what looks like a tornado. But you realize that it's sort of a whirlwind of dust and sand. And as it picks up and as the sun rises and the heat begins to come out, you see that in the distance, even further out, there is a large sandstorm. In the distance, it doesn't appear to be coming your way quickly, but it does appear to be coming closer slowly over the course of the day.
Do you think would be safest in the fortress?
Almost certainly.
Unless Burnham's got something.
No, the fortress works. I mean, that's great.
Seems good.
Let's pop and I'll get inside.
All right. You pop up the fortress. It's early morning, so it doesn't get too hot, but it does start to warm up a bit. But then by mid-morning, the sandstorm is upon you. And you trade the heat of the desert sun for the relentless wind and sand and friction of a sandstorm. You close up the windows as best you can, but the sand is...
It's just the arrow slits, and I was thinking we could try to put stuff in front of it, but it's gonna get in.
It's getting in. It's filling in. It's at the very least cooler out of the sun. But
Brandon, we don't got Leomund's tiny hut.
Oh yeah, I do. Sorry, you're right. I forgot.
This is way more epic. It's
That if
cool.
we need to.
It's all right.
We're
And,
fine.
and the sandstorm
Very high level
beats,
spell, man.
Yeah,
beats
I was like,
around
don't waste
you.
the spell slot.
I don't want to be too tiny. We'll get buried.
A ritual.
I didn't actually know it was a ritual.
It beats for hours throughout the course of the day, and
Wow.
by the end of the day, eventually, the sandstorm has ceased. And as you come up to the top of Darastan's fortress, you can see that you sort of the windows are all sealed with sand that has flown in. You're just able to push up the trapdoor in the top. There's maybe a foot of sand that you have to push up and out through. The fortress is almost entirely, it sinks in, almost entirely buried as you come up. And there are no tracks, no nothing. Everything in the distance is sand. Dunes and dunes of sand.
Miles and miles of sand.
I kind of like the matte buff thing it's doing to my scales.
That's really funny because, like, the way you get rust off of, like, you know, like metal parts for cars, you sandblast them.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I kind of like it. It's good. It's less ostentatious than the shiny look. Do you agree?
Yes, most definitely.
You also don't want to be super reflective out here.
Yeah, right. Makes me easy to see.
Exactly. Unless we get lost, and then you do want to be
Irish
reflective.
places.
Theo, you're not sure how you're going to get the instant fortress out of the sand.
No. My plan is now that the sand is higher, we have everybody jump down through the roof. You just go boop, and you're on the higher dune next door to us. And then I speak a command word to collapse the thing, so I can do that. And then
If it collapses, it goes down, and you think it might get buried.
Let's tie a rope to it.
A
Right?
very
Why not?
elastic rope.
Just attach something to it.
we can also spend a detect magic to find it in the sand.
How big
Sure.
is it? It's going to be buried in like
thing
dozens of
is-
feet of sand.
40 feet or more tall, so it's going to be under 30, 40 feet of sand.
Is there no way to attach a rope to it? So that when it shrinks, it'll pull the rope down, and then we can just pull back up?
When it's small enough that, like, arrow slits or anything you'd tie off to are smaller than the rope is, so it'd probably cut it. But if you put the rope, like, through an arrow slit and over the top, it'd be a big old
What if
loop.
we wrapped it around the entire thing?
Then it'd be a big
Guys,
old
we
loop.
need
It
a
would shrink
drill.
down smaller than
We
it.
can pull it tight as it shrinks.
It shrinks very
Oh,
quickly.
there's a magic atom!
I'm thinking.
Koros, Burnham.
Okay,
I
tie a
can
rope
make
to
it
me.
more-
Tie a rope to
maybe
me,
it
I'll
would
go
be
down
able to
there,
find
I'll
it
dig
easier.
out a hole in the sand at the bottom floor. I'll be under all the sand, it'll collapse, I'll grab you, pull me out.
Can we not just like hug it while it shrinks?
You
Also-
would be. You would
hole
also
in
be
the
buried
Trying
under the
to
sand
find
then.
things inside.
Oh, wait, I have a different
I
question.
don't mind being
Different
buried in
question.
sand.
Different
We can
question.
dimension door out.
Does
Go ahead,
anybody
Theo.
have like wind wall or create wind?
No.
Wow, you guys suck. Come on,
No.
man.
So far, the dimension door idea actually is a solid one.
Right? We
Burnham,
can hug it,
mold
go down
earth?
with and dimension door up.
Mold sand?
Sand
I
is earth.
have transmute rock. I don't think I have mold earth.
Sand is a bunch of little rocks.
I definitely
we
don't
need
have a
Dimension door is not an awful idea.
What about I remember seeing the dwarves do some little cantrip where they could just move like 5 feet of earth, just like it was nothing.
Oh,
Do
they
you
can,
know
but it's
that?
in a book that I don't have. That's mold
Yeah.
earth. Yeah.
We did see
I don't
Dwarves
think
do that,
that's
and it was really cool.
Alright, so
No,
I'm
no,
going to dimension door, go down
fantastic.
there.
There are burrowing desert animals of some kind, right?
There
Oh
are
yeah,
various burrowing desert animals.
turn me into like a big mole.
Are goats
Yeah.
one of them?
Turn myself into one, but
This
yeah.
is not a problem I anticipated. I'm gonna be honest. Sorry.
The
y'all.
answer is someone turns into a burrowing desert creature, burrows down to the base of the thing, and then you shrink it. And then we've got like a, I don't know, 20 by 20 planar surface to search for. That's not that hard to find in.
Yeah, let's do that.
Addendum, I have mold earth, but you can only move 5 feet of earth at a time, and it's sand.
It's a cantrip.
I think.
It's a
There's a
cantrip. You
cantrip?
can repeat it.
That's 5
Yeah.
cubic feet.
But it's sand.
That
Of
is
sand
one hole,
every
according
6
to
seconds.
holes.
That is actually the faster way to do this. You'd have to cast it at most like 60 times.
The rate at which the sand exits is this many per second. The rate at which the sand
But-
falls back in is less by this much, so...
Alex, what's 60 times 6?
We could dimension door. Try that.
160.
I think the best options are turn one of us into some kind of burrowing snake, or Burnham turns into a pump for sand.
Theo, why don't you take a vote?
I would be a sun pump, but it might take a while. We could be here all day.
No, because it's 6 seconds, right? So
We were going to be here all day anyway.
Yeah, but think about how long it takes to dig sand when it's normal size.
I'm going downstairs and I'm digging myself a little
Wait,
hole.
wait,
Yeah,
wait,
you can
wait,
shrink it and pull me
wait,
back out, or
wait,
someone
wait.
can dimension door and get my ass. I'm leaving.
Wait. I was going to do 60 times 6, but then divided by 60.
That's
Because
6.
that would be how many minutes?
That's
That's 6.
So it's just going to take you 6 minutes. 6 minutes is totally worth us not losing this dope fort.
Guys, just do the dimension door thing.
Just do any one of these 3 ideas that would work.
Any of them work, just pick
Someone
one.
with magic pull the trigger.
Sand blast away!
Theo says the magic word. Boom, it gets buried. Burnham?
All right, you dimension door. I'll throw the sand in the dimension door. That's how we're doing it, right?
All right. I turn myself into some sort of mole, and I'm going to go dig for it.
All right, you go dig down there. The sand sort of fills in behind you as you dig.
It's all right. I'm a mole. I assume this is what they're for.
But after several minutes,
5
you're able to
chunks.
find Darastan's Instant Fortress. It's bigger than you are.
Is it
Now
really?
Oh, I should have been a boulette.
When it shrinks, it's about, like, you know, like a
I thought it was
dice
like a
tower?
chess
You've seen
piece.
people have the dice towers, they drop the dice in the top and it comes at the bottom.
Yeah.
That's about how big it is, and a mole is smaller than that, so...
I
Really? I was
think
thinking,
I'm
like,
some sort of
this
very
I give
large
Forrest the mole a rope to tie to the now
Dire
small
mole.
instant fortress.
Oh, you're a dire mole. In that case, you're
Look,
slightly
it's
larger
not
than
my
it.
fault. The fucking 5e stopped indexing monsters by type, so I can't look up beasts anymore.
It's the
Just
last little bit of the
a
book.
large burrowing beast.
Make one up. Make up a sand python.
That's
I actually like
scary.
dire mole. I'm a dire mole.
There you go. You're a dire mole. You get down there, you grab Darastan's Instant Fortress, and you burrow your way back up, and you've got it. Let's move on. Why won't we?
Yeah, please.
Thanks, Koros! You're my favorite mole, even when you're a goat.
That's covered.
Cherish this memory.
So seriously, can we build a boat though?
Oh my
2 fighters, a monk, and a paladin are sitting here waiting for the warlock and the wizard to do a thing.
Well, feel free to punch the sand if you would like to.
I can't. You can fix the problem, and we
No, I
came up
can't.
with
I
a
can't do
solution,
it. I
and
can
we just
look,
sat
look,
here.
5 feet of earth suddenly.
No, I'm just gets fed up with it and just starts digging really fast.
Burnham,
Oh,
you
wow.
cast
Mole arguing.
you cast Mold Earth, the sand moves out, and sand starts falling back in. 6 seconds later, you cast it again,
Yeah.
and you are digging slightly faster than the sand is filling.
I'm going to walk east.
You want to do
Yeah,
this
I'm
for
walking.
6 minutes and see if it's all gone?
Yeah, let's go
Rena
walk
and I
this
are
for an
leaving.
hour, but it's daytime, so
We're
we'll go
going.
back to bed.
Oh
Wait,
wait,
but, like,
are
we're
we
done,
already
right?
in
We
Adventure
did it.
time?
Yeah, no, we're good. We're done.
There you go.
It's daytime.
Giant badger is a medium-sized beast.
There you
That is
go.
not getting out.
All right, cool.
Do
We've
you
got
want to sleep because it is daytime? Yes?
No.
it's the end
No,
of the day. You
narrative
slept
already
inside the
started.
fortress. All is good.
Great. Okay, let's walk.
All right. It's evening again. You're traveling through the desert. As the sun begins to rise on the next day, so this would be your 4th night, morning of the 3rd day. Irina, each time you've cast Create Food and Water,
Oh no.
it's been less.
Yeah.
Every time.
A little less each time. Until now, when you're casting it, it's barely a trickle.
Cool.
It's like not even enough to
And it's like
fill
a
cup.
grape.
And like, yeah, it's like a grape. Not even, because that's got too much water in it.
It's a
It's a
raisin.
raisin.
It's a handful of raisins.
Irina, is it worth trying to commune with your god and ask him if he
I
understands the nature of this curse at all?
She already did that.
He said it's a curse.
No, he said there's a curse. I said if you talk to him since then, I've been like, what kind of curse?
Sure, I'll try.
I don't know.
You
Like,
pray and you ask, what kind of curse? And he says, the calamity.
Yeah,
cool.
the big one.
I have a bleak
Mainly just the big
suggestion Far more suited to a horror game.
Yes.
Oh no.
Drinking each other's blood.
Does your
Yeah.
healing magic still work?
Oh God!
Oh, it is the daughter pass. God.
I hate the hardest difficulty where like there's no saves and healing doesn't work and like
And there's no water.
Um,
That was better suited to a horror game.
and you all find that during the sandstorm, like the sand got in everywhere and a lot of moisture seeped out of things. You have less water than you thought.
How's that saying Balgo after the sandstorm where he dumps his water out and it's all
Yep.
mud?
Should we try? should we
You're
try
not
to
sure
summon-
you have enough water to get back to Al Zali.
Should we try to summon this genie?
are we in the region Akhman-Ra described to me?
He didn't even
You
say
are
it.
in that region.
Oh, I thought you just said go east.
He said, "Go
We could
east.
try
You're
to
in that
follow
region."
him.
And you think we were walking for 3 days?
4 nights. This is the
Yes, this
Yeah.
is the fourth night. 3 days.
I think
And
we
you
should
think
all
we
Fourth
have
night,
like
fourth day.
3 nights worth of water? 3 days worth of water?
keep an eye out for animals because if we find an animal, there's water nearby, and Arena can talk to it and ask where.
So Lincoln, you guys entered the desert, right, with like a week's worth of water.
Mhm.
It's you're halfway through a week now, and after the sandstorm, much of your water is gone
Oh, well, we should go back.
inexplicably.
Should we not try to summon him before we return?
How would we summon him? We're just here with our treasure.
Nobody
So-
has called to him.
Nadam, you guys don't have enough water to get back. I mean, you do because you can go for
Well,
3
we
days
won't
without water.
die.
You won't die, but you will be very thirsty on your way back.
Yeah, and if we hang out here until we're out of water, we'll probably die on
certainly.
the way back. So we should go back,
Yes, I say we make a one
refill our
follow
water, and try again.
to contact this guy, and then we can turn back west.
Sure.
Do I need to teleport us back?
So as you are traveling,
Wait, can you teleport us?
Yeah, I can teleport us. I teleported us one place already.
you've never
So we can
teleported
keep
this
going
party.
for a while.
Wait, yeah, no, didn't we teleport from the very, very offset when we were in?
Yeah, but
you teleported with some other people in Isari.
Oh, that wasn't with them. Yeah, never
Yeah,
mind. Right.
you haven't teleported the party yet. They didn't know you could teleport.
Okay, just kidding.
You could
I had
teleport.
no idea
you
you
could
could
teleport us
teleport.
to that circle.
Why didn't we
teleported into?
teleport?
I can't teleport to somewhere I don't know about. You need a specific combination of arcane runes to teleport to a teleportation circle.
Like
It's
the
very
circle we came into?
Yes, a very specific set of arcane runes, closely guarded. They're not going to let
Can you
anyone
teleport to that one?
No, I could. Well, I could.
Can you just teleport to that temple?
Was was that circle just by itself in the desert, or was it like significant
was in the
landmark? I
ruins.
remember there was the
It was in
river
the
and
ruins.
the ruin.
It
It
was
was a
in the
teleportation
ruins. There was a
circle in the
circle
ruins.
inscribed in the ground. It was a teleportation circle.
Yeah, we were just there. I could probably teleport just there.
So
Now
we
that
can
I've
keep
been there.
going.
Just keep going until we're about to die, and then we'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Assuming that Burnham is correct and it will work. If not, we'll die.
Run. Death. Go.
You'll just be
Every night-
very thirsty. You won't die.
didn't you say that magic doesn't always work right here?
Well,
Burnham's and
Not-
Quarles' magic has worked fine.
yeah, magic related to water hasn't worked great.
Yeah, it's like the nourishment thing, I think. I don't know.
All right.
We can
I
test
don't know,
out some
I
other
hope.
stuff.
Crap.
It's that curse.
I mean, the transformative to the mole worked fine, right?
And you've got that worked fine. And you've got like a day or two of water left still, so you could start heading back and then teleport when you run out. Absolutely.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Yeah, because I think I am assuming the range on teleport is very far.
So you want to keep going east?
Yeah, let's keep going east,
Yeah.
and we'll
No,
try
that's
to
fine.
find
I
the
think they
king.
misunderstood, which is why I'm clarifying.
Oh, you want to continue east?
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, if we can just teleport back whenever we want.
Great.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, we can keep going east for a bit.
All right. Cool.
Let's just I make sure I'm like wearing my magic item and just jingling it. My single magic item. Oh.
We're back in a stack, guys.
No worries. Towards the dawn of the 5th day, you travel for another night.
East.
heading east. You have been traveling all day, and you think you see in the distance a little palm tree and a bit of shimmering water. A little oasis.
That's either real or a trap. And trap sounds fun.
It's one of them mirages.
As you get closer, it comes more into focus, and you realize it's not a mirage. It's not that shimmering thing that heat does on asphalt where it looks like water. Also on sand, but we've probably seen more asphalt with heat on it.
Oh my God, this
Half of
desert
us
is
being
paved.
from San Diego. And as you approach, you do see there is a little pool of water, a bit of grass growing around it in the sand there, a little palm tree. You see a small sort of half tent, half hut. It seems like a tent that's been there a while and has been extra propped up. And as you approach, you see a withered old man, a halfling man, sort of come out of the tent and wave at you as you approach.
I wave back.
Halfling. Ooh.
Grandfather, hello.
Burnham, you want to take point on this one?
Yeah, sure. Hello.
And he says, "Hello, friends. Welcome. The water is safe to drink."
Oh, is it? Very nice to meet you. How are your feet holding up? It's got to be mighty hard in this desert. Hot sand and all.
"My feet are holding up just fine," he says, and he holds up his feet, and they're very leathery and worn. And
It's hard to tell where the sandal ends and his feet begin.
He seems great. He's got water. Let's go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Walk up
and
to
he comes up and he welcomes you, and he says, "Please, have some water."
Before anybody drinks it, I feel like Arena and I should purify it, or possibly both of us.
I was about to go ahead and cast both Purify Food and Drink and Remove Curse on it.
Word up,
I
girl.
don't think you can target water with Remove Curse.
Why not?
Yeah, I was about to check that.
I think
I
it's
know I
someone
can't
who has
do
been
that.
cursed.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna gulp that water down right away.
I
though.
target the desert with remove curse.
Burnham,
Boom.
do you gulp that up after the purify water or before?
Before.
Before. All right.
You are Sokka.
Like he sticks his head underwater
You're
and
so
just gulp,
Sokka.
gulp, gulp.
He's nice.
You've been tripping on cactus juice all day.
He's a halfling. They're never evil.
And he says, "What?" And then after you've purified the water, and then everyone has some. He says, "What brings you out to this part of the desert?"
I was going to ask you the same thing.
He says, "I came on an expedition to retrieve the white marble of the old Kuaya to the south in the river, but our boat was stricken by a large alligator.
Oh,
Our
no.
party journeyed east. We were stricken by raiders and bandits, and then some of my party took ill," and he gestures back towards the hut, and he says, "It appears that I am either immune or it's not contagious, but I still wouldn't head to the tent if I were you. It's a grisly sight."
How long have you been here?
"Oh, just a day or two."
Can I whisper to Koros? I know he's not here right now, but I'm whispering to him and say, go to the tent. Send class feature to
I
the
was gonna
tent.
tell him to send class feature, yeah.
He will send class feature over to the tent.
We can keep talking while
Yeah.
his class feature is working over his way over to the tent that's very far away.
We're on a sort of expedition of our own.
Says, "What are you looking for?"
An amulet of sorts. I don't remember the description of the amulet.
Got your
Bobby,
noise.
things turned for the worse while you were gone.
As they tend to.
You're at the Oasis. This dude is here. His party came here to get this white marble. The boat got stricken by an alligator. They traveled into the desert. They got lost. Some of their party got beset by raiders and bandits. Now, the remains of his party are in that tent and sick. And he says it's
Okay.
either not contagious or he's immune, but he wouldn't recommend going in there. It's a
Yeah.
grisly sight. But everything has been fine here. He's been here a day or two. The party said, hey, send class feature in there. So
I bet it's full of skeletons.
I bet it fucking is, dude.
I will send class feature in there, who is very unlikely to contract human disease.
You send class feature in there to peek. Class feature peeks in under the tent, and there are 2 cots with the blankets pulled high up over them. There are clearly figures under these blankets, but
Are they? Can I see breathing movement?
you don't see much movement. There's a bit of like the whole tent and everything ripples with the wind because the wind is coming over the
Okay.
desert here, but nothing.
Class feature could like.
Hard to
I guess
tell
that-
between either irregular breathing rhythm or the wind.
I guess he'll like try to peek under one of the blankets.
Hop down there and peel one back.
I'm
Skeleton.
dead.
Okay.
Girl, we call it.
So they're quite afflicted. Seems
Or-
serious, whatever they've
or-
contracted.
Or
Grievously
That's
was
right.
Been a long time. And he doesn't know.
This
Meanwhile-
is the most advanced case of
Ah, yes.
mimetosis I've ever seen.
I see he has osteoporosis.
Meanwhile,
Lord.
the rest of you, unaware of this, are
Sorry.
talking to the man. He introduces himself as Sir William Wilson Worthington Wallace III, in the service of Her Majesty, Queen of Fensmore.
Were the skeletons both human?
Was
Was one of them a lizard?
the skeletons, one was human, one was halfling.
Okay.
I asked him about the queen. I said, "Who is this mighty queen you serve?"
Oh, she's great. She's the best. I saw her once. Never met her. Have you met her?
Oh, no, never been so fortunate as to have met the Queen in person. But if our expedition can regroup and achieve our original goals, I'm sure we'll get to meet the Queen. She
Well,
wants
good luck.
the white marble of Kuaya, you know.
Put in a good word if you wouldn't mind.
What's your name, sir?
Burnham Shortwick.
Burnham Shortwick. I will remember. I'm excellent with names. I always remember names.
From Weatherwillow. She'll know.
Excellent.
Burnham.
I ask Sir William Wallace Wibble Wobble Wingy Dingy III, Walloper of Wombats. I ask him if he's heard of King Haroon.
Haroon?
Haroon.
He says, never heard of a King Haroon. Who is he?
What about Riza the Eternal?
Nope, not ringing any bells.
Oh. Well, I regale him with the story of our quest and what we're doing.
He finds it
Mostly just with what's going on in the Nine Deserts.
mightily interesting.
This guy seems nice.
He seems to be a professor of some kind, a learned scholar, very interested in this history.
Wonderful.
For
Well, I mean,
for you guys, after a little bit of conversation, it's early dawn, but because you've been traveling at night, it's about time for you to go to bed. What's the plan?
I asked him, "When did you set out on this expedition?"
He says, not but a week or so ago. A few weeks, maybe. No, a week and a half. It's a bit fuzzy now. The desert, you know, the days being the same in and out. I could consult my logbook.
I would appreciate that. I'm curious.
He says, yes.
Does only Koros know about the skeleton still?
yeah, I haven't had a. We're all just standing around talking to this guy.
while they're talking, I'm just going to go over to Burnham and be like, I think this seems like a fine place to make camp for the day.
Aye, he's a very nice fella.
Can't you do that thing where you create the little magical home?
I can make a little home. It's very small, but we can fit.
It's all right. I like you guys.
All right.
I don't really care for any of you, but we've stayed in worse places.
Magical hut up, temperature
Magic hut.
controlled, which is nice.
Opaque.
Yep.
Yep.
It's
Oh, a cat. It's Lily's familiar.
She,
You've got toys dangling from your head,
I do have a lot of toys right now. I have
tassels. And,
two.
yep. Anyway,
So yeah.
We're
He
now
says-
in this
Yeah, he says,
Soundproof.
I'll leave you to your camp, and he heads back to the tent as you guys get ready to go to sleep.
So did he not tell me when he left, according to his logbook?
Not yet, no.
So once we're inside the hut,
Bless
I
you.
will tell everyone, yeah, there are skeletons in that tent, and there's no way
What?
they decomposed in a week and a half.
My God,
I think
we
you're
could have all
charming
been exposed to
explorers,
mamatosis.
Start retching water.
If anyone's clothes start turning into linen wraps.
So,
Do you
So
think
do
he's
we-
gone mad, or do you think he killed them himself?
He seems
Well,
quite.
think he's
if they were in their bed wrapped up, I assume they weren't. They were already sick, unless you killed them in their sleep. But
Probably.
was there blood, Gross?
And was there blood?
No, no.
Just no blood.
Sounds like they did get sick and die, and he's just lost his grip on time.
I think
Possible.
so.
He seems.
What's he
harmless
been eating
enough.
for as long as it takes skeletons to completely decay, though?
Palm shoots?
Sugar dates and pistachios.
Fresh fish!
I don't
I
know.
wonder what is up with him that he didn't get sick. Do we have detect thing on people?
Could it
Looking
be-
at my detect things right now.
Could it be
I want
that
you to
curse
detect
from
things.
the river?
What?
I will. Sorry. What?
I didn't hear what Lincoln said.
Could it be that curse from the river?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, or something weird
Likely.
like that.
Said the water.
I mean, or just any old disease.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone want to do anything tonight before going to sleep, or this morning before going to sleep, or is this
Yeah,
a figured
I
out
will-
in the morning
Need
thing?
some sort of watch. I guess we can just do that ourselves.
Yeah, we can set some watches.
Yeah.
I mean, if we want, we can just be in the bubble where he cannot hurt us in the bubble.
He can't enter the bubble either.
I
Yeah.
want to take a stroll 60 feet
And
within
I don't
the
think he
hut
knows disintegrate.
and cast
I'll come
Divine
with you.
Sense and make sure that those skeletons aren't undead.
You can do that. You can go for a quick stroll before you go to sleep.
Divine Sense.
No undead.
No,
No fiends or undead or whatever else that thing detects.
Except for that zombie over there, but we knew he was
Evil
there.
Irina, what do you detect?
Evil and good.
Oh, Rena, you going for a nice stretch too?
No one here has a strong aura of either evil or good.
Except for Theo and Aaron.
I mean,
Oh.
Good
none
guess.
of these skeletons or Sir
Goodest
William.
guys you know.
Hmm.
Do dark pacts not show up as evil?
You should say there are no surprises.
There are no surprises. That's what I will say. Everything rings exactly as
Just a
you
crazy old man.
Hey, crazy old
Yeah.
man, I say leave him to the desert.
But we need some water, and I'm sketched out by this water.
You
Well,
purified it, and we
Well,
drank
Burnham
it.
drank a bunch of
I
it.
drank it. I seem fine.
No, yeah, you drink it. Okay.
And the rest of you drank it after it was purified.
Oh.
And
Oh, wait, I can detect poison and disease on him and see if he's sick.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I do
Why don't we
that
do that?
on Sir
I
William
was
or
thinking
on
about that, I
Burnham?
was like, I don't know.
on. Oh, I should do both.
Well,
I'll
Dr.
do
Eldris.
Burnham.
it's any creatures within 30 feet of me, so I'll just pull Burnham and that guy up.
All right, you can do that. Neither poison nor disease in either of them.
That's good.
Unless Burnham, you have any diseases we don't know about.
Nope. Not
Probably.
that I'm willing to disclose at this moment.
Okay. Well, that's most of the tech shit.
Hey,
I think we
Paladins,
got.
thanks for all your work today. You were great. Really proud of the team.
Very good detectives. Except for my
Oh,
horrible
yeah.
investigation rolls.
Yeah, I'm good to go to bed.
All right. Were we gonna take shifts or just rely on the hut?
Hut.
Hut.
That's
Right.
super magic.
Cool.
The tent is the alarm system. They'll definitely break into that one first.
You go to sleep in the magic hut. When you wake up,
Somewhere else.
you find yourselves in the tent from the night before, and you very quickly realize as you awake that the oasis, the old man, the skeletons, all a terrible dream. Or rather a strange dream, not really a terrible one.
Like we look
We
outside
all had
and
the
we're
same
gone.
dream.
You look outside, you're
Yeah.
in the tent as you were the night before, or rather day before, you know.
And we feel like we're in the same spot.
No, you're in the spot that you were 24
I mean, yeah,
hours
like,
previous.
Like that whole day just didn't happen.
That whole day just didn't happen. That whole day, like, you even think about it, and you're like, you don't remember much of the traveling through the desert. Like, you just remember the oasis part, which is what dreams are like, right? You don't know where you never remember how you got there.
I share my strange dream with my compatriots.
Oh, you've got to be joking me. It took us forever to figure out how to get the thing out of the sun last time. I don't want to do that again.
It's disturbing that we all had the same dream.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Boros, do you know anything about stuff like this?
Not
Any
really.
spells you know of
Not that kind of
put us
warlock.
all-
I've heard of.
I'm not really an educated kind of guy.
The way that
No, but you've encountered strange, horrible things. I figured maybe you encountered
Isn't
some.
the whole place just blasted and cursed from hell, like to hell and back? It's probably weird shit's gonna happen.
Pharaoh wasn't that kind of cleric. Quaros is not that kind of warlock.
They used to tell tales of hags in the woods, casting nightmares on entire villages. People would dream the same thing all the time, but it would be, gut-wrenching and disturbing, and they'd lack sleep, and all kinds of things would go wrong. This doesn't seem
Especially
like that.
considering that y'all are thirsty, because you've been, conserving your water a little bit, but you're on the thirsty side. You could imagine that was something the desert might do, given what you know, Burnham, about hags and that sort of thing, but you're not sure.
Spooky.
Maybe desert
drink a
hags
ton
are
of
different.
water. Drink a ton of water, fill up on water, and I guess, while we're doing that, I want to ask Burnham about, in my dream, he knew this queen, and I want to know about it.
She's the queen. What's the place called? It's the island.
Fensmore.
Yeah, Fensmore is the island that I explain her like I gush a bunch about the queen. I don't actually know anything about the queen. I was just playing along.
Big
with
ol'
it.
island to the north, halfling society, think Victorian England, but everyone's halflings.
And it is
But
very
it's
where
quite
Will
small.
is.
Small Victorian England.
Like mini golf, Victorian England.
I want to go.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So,
They
yeah,
have
you just
medium
gush about
Ben.
his mom and stuff. I saw her in the parade.
Reasonably sized. They just said
Oh.
Ben. Like, it's not big. It's just Ben. And then if you go to the Gnome Island, they have small Ben.
So you regale some stories about Fensmore as you travel through the night. And as the sun rises in the morning and you're just starting to get ready to make camp, you see in the distance a palm tree and a shimmering oasis.
Oh, no.
I walk away from it. I just turn left and go away from it.
Guys, you recognize it.
I don't look at it. I don't mention it. It's not there.
Where are you going?
But water.
Walking away.
You say so.
We should go this way.
Hey, Burnham.
Oh, God.
Hey, Burnham.
Aye.
You want to go check it out?
What are you doing?
Absolutely. Where are you going?
Away.
No,
from the
I'm
dream.
just going for a walk with Burnham here.
Is there a way to go east without passing the oasis?
I mean, you can go around it.
Or, and hear me out, we could go to it.
Yeah.
Fine. Let's
Excellent
go get
place
trapped
to
in
put
a
your
horrible dream cycle. Whatever.
Let's just see if it happens again.
You all arrive
One
at
is
the
too small a
oasis.
sample size.
And you see a tent, a bit of a hut. More hut than tent. It's been reinforced a bit. And you see a weathered old halfling man come out and wave at you and greet you and invite
does
you
he
to
look
the
older?
oasis. Not really. No, he's about the same level of oldness.
What is the exact length in millimeters of his beard?
But you said but before it was a tent and now it's a hut.
I feel like that should be a check. on that.
In your dream, it was a bit more tent-like with a bit of hut characteristics. This one's a bit more hut-like with some tent characteristics.
So are they actually different or not?
I point
Oh my
at him
God.
and I say his name.
And he says, I'm not sure we've met,
Wallaby
sir.
Whopper the Third.
I'm not sure we've met, sir.
I presume.
Willy Wonka.
And he says,
Need to have the
I
house
guess
in
my
that.
reputation precedes me. You have me at a loss.
Dr. Livingston, I presume.
And he reaches out his hand to greet you.
I take it.
He says, you have me at a loss, asking for your name.
Nadam Nazir.
He greets you and he says, I, as you know, am Sir William Wallace Worthington III. There's a fourth W in there last time, but I don't remember what I
I
said.
spout his whole mission.
And he says,
Correct?
are you the reinforcements sent by the Queen? Ah, I knew she would send reinforcements. In fact,
I wish.
I could use your assistance. Did you bring medical supplies? My compatriots are ill.
Yes, yes. I'm a healer. Pleasure to meet you. I'm gonna go ahead and shake his hand, and while doing that, why not? I'm gonna try to cast Remove Curse, see if he has a curse on him.
And as you start to say some magic words, he says, "Oh no!" And he tries to hush you while you're doing it. It's my compatriots in the tent that are ill. I'm fine.
Oh yes, of course. It's simply
Object.
a precaution.
Traditional greeting where she's
Fine. As long as you have enough arcane or divine energy to help my compatriots.
I do.
And then he allows you to cast Remove Curse on him.
Great. I assume it does nothing, but hey, worth a shot.
Dun. Yeah, nothing happens.
Cool. All right.
And he says, "No. My compatriots are very sick. I could use your help, Paladin."
Oh God. I gotta go into the tent.
And he brings
Oh,
you
God.
towards the tent.
I'll go too. I'm a paladin too.
He says, "Meanwhile, my friends, please feel free to drink from the oasis. The water is safe and clean. I have tested it myself."
You
I'm
are
not doing that.
kind.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. I'm not doing that.
We will go into the tent.
All right, you go into the tent, and he says, "My compatriots are very, very ill." And you see he pulls back the blankets, and they're still very clearly skeletons, but he's talking to you as if they are not.
Is that one's name Yorick?
And he says, "No. This was my Captain Geraldo Jerem, and one of the first mates."
So you're aware of the severity of their condition.
Jake said was, but
Jake
Sir
fucked it up.
William
He said it was, I thought it
is says
too.
is.
I know, Jake.
Is he responding to them as if they are speaking to him weekly?
And he says, "Conserve your strength, Geraldo. The paladins
No,
are
Geraldo,
here.
Don't speak.
They will heal you."
Shh.
Jake, I'd like.
The skeleton's jaw goes.
Straight up. Yes, Lily?
If he comes out of the tent at some point, I want to ask to see his logbook. I'm interested in his travels.
Oh, yes, of course. And he fetches the logbook, and he says, "Just a week's travel." And he opens the logbook, and you see that there are tally marks, for a month.
Okay, but I want to look and see when he set out and if I can see what year it is. Year, the month, the week. That's what I'm looking for.
He says it's been a week and a half. It has
No, yeah, I
been
know.
several weeks, not years.
Several
Okay.
weeks and they already decomposed?
The Nine Deserts are a strange place, my friend.
Oh gosh. Okay, cool. I want to go to sleep so in the morning I can have the spell magic prepared and try some of that on this pond because I don't know what else to do.
I think he's dead and I think they're dead and he's crazy.
Right, but there's something else going on because he disappears in the morning and we have a dream.
Yeah,
Also, we're running out of water.
crazy desert magic.
I'm gonna try to spell magic. Well, in the morning because I don't have it prepped. But
But before we go to sleep, I'm just gonna 5 points of lay on hands on each of the skeletons, make them feel better. We'll see if this has any effect.
And he says, "It must be a wicked sickness that even a paladin's lay on hands leaves them still afflicted.
It's true.
I'm sure that with some time you'll be able to heal them."
one
Absolutely.
of the wickedest.
We'll do everything in our power. Light willing.
Yeah,
Cool.
crazy halfling.
All right, are y'all going to bed then?
yeah,
Sure.
Well, none of us
Think I'm-
drank the water today,
Think I
so
think-
No one drank the water today. You put up the hut. You go to sleep. You sleep through the day. You wake up in the evening, and as you dispel the hut and you come on out of it, you see the halfling waving at you. "Oh, welcome, friends. Welcome to the oasis. My name is Sir William Wallace Worthington III.
Can we just kill him?
From where do you hail? What brings you to this part of the deserts?
Pretty sure it took more than 3 iterations of Groundhog Day for Bill Murray to start murdering people.
I have less patience.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna go ahead and try to. I guess I'll try dispel magic on. Can I target the pool
Yes.
or him? Which should I try?
Yes. Those are all valid
Sure.
targets for dispel magic.
I will go ahead and I suppose try dispel magic on the pool first. Why
Okay.
not?
You're not sure if anything happened, but maybe.
Try it on him.
He goes, "Oh, what are you doing? I mean no harm."
It's another healing cantrip. We are
Another?
oh god.
He
We're
has
passing through.
no memory of you.
Yeah. And we're
I
still where
see.
we were, and the dome was where we put the dome.
Well, you were still where you were. Yeah, so you guys didn't flash back or any of that. You guys are here.
But he's
He
nuts.
says he has no memory of you. And he says, "Well, I appreciate the gesture, but I am not in need in healing. But however, my compatriots are. If you would come to the tent with me, they're very dearly ill."
Yes, I have 2 healers here who can cast a very powerful, if slow-acting, healing spell.
Excellent, excellent. I've never heard of such a spell, but I will accept it nonetheless. All the same.
He says none the same. He's crazy.
He does. He says none the same. All the less. None the same.
Like, for 2 minutes.
Nice.
I don't know what I got, guys.
I go over
maybe
to
we should
Alina
just
and I
ditch.
say,
Hi, Dad.
"Don't pretend to do something, and then we'll leave."
My dad just tuned in. Yeah.
Hello. Where
Did you hear that?
Ditch. Where are we going to go? Do you think we're just going to wake up again?
Yeah, we can't travel east again.
Maybe if we don't sleep here?
Yeah, why can't we travel east?
So,
We
so
can
the,
just
the
leave.
Groundhog Day thing only happened once. That didn't happen again when you slept again this time.
It's now this guy's just crazy.
He didn't remember
So-
you, but you all woke up where you expected to be.
I see. I
Sure.
thought that it was
Let's
the
go ahead
first of the time jump.
and put some of this water in a canteen because I'm curious.
Me too.
And
Label the
then we can
canteen
go ahead.
scary oasis water.
We can keep going east.
All right. You guys go in and cast some healing spells on the skeletons, and he's, "Oh, thank you, thank you.
Pretend to.
How many days should I expect? When should I start worrying?"
3 days. They should be better by then.
3 days and they'll be right as rain. Excellent, excellent. Thank you very much. Good change.
Yeah.
Please do feel free to drink from the oasis. I've tested the water myself. It's fine.
Is it?
Very safe. Not cursed like the water of the river.
Great.
Cool.
And we go.
It's very sad. Do say hello to the queen.
Hey, Burnham, let me know if you start having any memory issues.
I'm thinking I'll let you know of that straight away.
Don't forget.
Try not to.
All right. So you travel on through your 6th night.
He's been there like years.
At least he's not thirsty.
And as you start to travel, and the sun sets over the desert. Over the next few dunes, you see a large, ornate tent set up over the next dune in this little valley between the dunes.
Is there light coming from it?
Yes, there are lights inside of it. You see the shadows and shapes of people dancing. You hear music.
Ooh, party.
Sounds
I
like a
think-
party
Well,
going
let's
on.
go say hello.
Yeah, I think we
Yeah.
should make ourselves known to the host.
As you
Probably don't eat anything though.
You come down to the entrance to the tent, and there are you see a few guards there, and they part the
Are they
entrance
humans,
to the
or-
tent. Humans, yes. They part the entrance to the tent and allow you to enter. And as you do, you see this tent is very large inside. There's a long table with various people sitting at it eating this large feast of food and drink. Around the edges, you see that there are... you notice There are players playing instruments and music, horns and drums and desert music being played. There's a snake dancing. There is also a snake person dancing. There's all sorts of entertainment going on here. You do notice that the players and the dancers, they do have chains around their ankles. They don't appear to be chained to anything, but they've all have these, just like these, I forget what the word is.
Shackles?
Shackles on their ankles. Not connected to anything, just a little bit of chain.
And I'm guessing they're like decorative.
They seem perhaps decorative. Hard
Are
to
they
tell.
connected to each other?
No,
They like the ones Genie wears?
Yeah,
kind of like the ones Genie wears.
I say to somebody, Irina or whoever, I say, they said the king likes slaves. These are the first we've seen.
You see,
We might be onto something.
at the end of the table, there is a large, sort of a big throne-like chair, a harem draped around it, and a strange stone-skinned king covered in piercings, wearing ornate jewelry, being served by the slaves around him.
I do my best. What's his name? God, the shouter, the caller guy.
From Knight's
What's
Tale?
his name?
Chaucer?
Yeah, what's his name?
Chaucer.
I do my best Chaucer, and I introduce the party with lots of fancy honorifics and say, like
We're partial to that.
to what beautiful whose beautiful tent have we stumbled into out of the dark
And he's-
cold desert?
He shouts, "Welcome to the court of King Haroon. He says, please make yourselves at home. Enjoy the food and drink of my table. Tonight we feast and dine as we do every evening to celebrate my magnificence."
Ahman Ra didn't say anything about like not eating the food he
Don't
offers
eat
you
the
or
food. What are
anything.
you thinking?
Are there grapes?
Is anybody here named Persephone?
There are indeed
valid
grapes.
questions.
I think you mean Ophelia.
They're absolutely uvas. There are grapes all over. The
Different
food is
menus.
fantastic. It's from all over. It's this beautiful arrangement of fruits, and there's like a big ol' roast bird of some kind, and there's wine, these large flagons of wine, and it's very delicious. Lots of good food.
I will eat.
Don't like him, but I think we should be polite.
I don't like him, and I don't want to be polite if these are his
This is-
slaves.
I don't want to be rude.
Your Majesty, I beg your pardon, but as we are not familiar with your customs, are there any rules amongst your people regarding obligations between hosts and guests?
Let me say this. Share with me your stories, and I will share with you my hospitality.
Oh, Dirk understands that language.
Sort of an answer. We'll take it.
And he says, I wish to know from where you come and to where you go. Tell me. Regale me.
Oh, Dirk's
I
gonna
know.
tell the story,
Yeah.
but from
I'll tell
like
him
his
about
point of
Barovia.
view.
I would like a performance check.
When did Dirk get here?
Can I
This
help?
by Dirk.
Can I help?
Tom.
Irina, you can assist.
Cool. You get advantage.
You have all the stuff about Barovia, Arena, and he
Nice.
has all the stuff thereafter, basically.
Advantage.
Bada boom, bada bing, bada
16?
story. You tell this
I'm getting warmed
grand
up.
story, and he says, fantastic, fantastic. An excellent story indeed. Let me ask, while this story is being revealed, are y'all eating and drinking?
Yes.
I suppose.
All right.
I'm skeptical.
Excellent.
I'm telling a story.
I start out being like, I don't know, but then everything tastes real good, so I don't care anymore.
And he says, the food is absolutely fantastic. Some of the best you've had in your entire journey across Azemar.
I'm sure.
And he says, excellent, excellent, a wonderful story. Now that you have shared with me from where you come and to where you go, would you like to know more about what comes past that?
I did tell him what our quest is.
Yeah. He says, I have recently obtained a fortune teller. Would you like your fortunes told?
How could
Yeah,
I say
sure.
no to that?
We've had our fortunes told before.
Excellent. Bring in the fortune teller,
No, thank
he
you.
shouts. And a few slaves go off, and they roll in. You see this giant iron wagon wheel, maybe 6 or 7 feet tall, spiky iron wagon wheel that they roll in, and you see that there is a person, sort of like the Vitruvian man, chained to this wagon wheel, rolling in.
And it's Pharaoh.
Nope. I'm cool with this shit.
Lincoln, don't pull an Alex.
Oh no!
You recognize
Purposely didn't
this
say
fortune
anything.
teller as a
No.
bruised and beaten man, but you recognize him as Pharaoh.
I can't. How could you call it Alex?
He makes eye contact with you, and there is no recognition in his eyes. And that's where I'm going to leave you guys this week.
Owned.
But wait, no, he's half human, not half human, half snake.
The person that you see is all human,
Yeah, as we would expect.
beaten and bruised, on this Vitruvian man on this giant iron wagon wheel, and
Pharaoh a half elf?
they write him right in front of, or sorry, yeah, half elf.
Human, half elf. Instead of half
He
human,
lost his
elf,
half
snake.
his
He lost his elf. No, sorry, half elf. Pardon, just not half snake.
Yeah, we understand.
And they write him. He makes that contact with you. No recognition in his eyes.
Oh my god.
Who in the plains is that Joker?
That poor son of a bitch.
Thank you all for tuning in to this, our 100th episode of Princes. I want to take a quick moment to thank everyone for watching. It's like, we do this for y'all, and it's super, super awesome to have you here. Thanks for tuning in. Here's to 100 more, but not actually, because I don't think this campaign is going to go for another 100 more. But, more
Oh my
D&D.
God.
Optimistic.
That'd be too much. Do we only have like 4 or 5 levels left?
Viewers, thanks for watching. Please do comment on the video, message the page, give us your feedback, let us know what you think. My players, please do message me tonight with your rose thorn bud. In fact, because this is a special 100th episode, here's what I'd like. I'd like 2 rose thorn buds. One is just for this episode, what your rose thorn bud was. And the second, I'd love to hear your rose thorn bud for the campaign thus far on this 100th episode. And maybe we'll share some of those with our viewers either on the Facebook page or on the Patreon later this week. With that, we will see you all next week. Lincoln, take it away.
Monday night, tune in to see the crew of the Red Rock, newly expanded with some new hires who have kind of worked Pip out of a job, make their way in a chaotic universe. But before they can do that, they have to get this primeval deity out of Klob's head. So tune in to see how they, Leonardo DiCaprio their way through his mind.
All right. So we'll see you on Monday for Into the Black, and we'll see you again next Wednesday. Same bat time, same bat channel. Bye-bye now.
Bye. Thanks for watching.